Hello, you are watching Empirical Games. Today we are going to be doing a nice little guide on duty officers in Star Trek Online. Don't mind my little clones that are apparently dancing behind me. I've noticed a severe lack in duty officers most of the time, specifically when donating to fleet projects. So decided I'd teach some of you guys how to do this. And you go to holdings, not there. Okay, come on. Thank you. As you might notice, tactical officers, well, we need some of those, but we definitely need a lot more security officers. And 30 security officers, that's a lot. And, well, engineering has the same issue. Science, everyone can get those. It's ridiculous how many you need. So, you're probably wondering, okay, we need hundreds of security officers. How do we get those security officers? Well, there are many ways to get security officers. Academy is probably the cheapest way of getting security officers, and basically any officers. If you go around, you'll see on the map and around these little duty officer icons. I'm not sure how well you'll see it over the video, but basically you'll see this little icon that's got the duty officer logo. When you see that, it means that there's a duty officer assignment, naturally. Now this Vulcan woman, she has the cultural exchange. These are nice because it'll give you one duty officer. It takes 20 hours to complete, which I must admit is a long time, but it's free. One free duty officer every 20 hours. It does take 20 hours to reset after it's complete, so it's more like one duty officer every 40 hours, but there are 3 of these quests, and it's a free duty officer. Usually common quality, it can sometimes be uncommon, and I've even had the rare circumstance of getting a rare. So it kind of depends on whether or not you get a critical success or not. If you do get an uncommon or a rare, and you wanted commons, we'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so we got the Andorian Culture Exchange, which does the exact same thing as the Vulcan one, gives you another free duty officer, same time and all that. And then there's the Tellarite one, once again, identical. You just start that little baby up, get it going, and hello, free duty officers in 20 hours. Well, those are the 3 common ones. Those are the ones everyone told me about when I first started wondering how you got duty officers. I'm like, oh, okay. 3 duty officers, every 2 days. It's not bad, okay. Well, they don't tell you about this other one. You have to get annoyingly close, because as you see right here, you're talking to the person on the opposite side of the booth. You have to basically press yourself into the desk to be able to talk to the personnel officer. Now, talking to the personnel officer, you get general recruitment, tactical officer cat thingy, and all this other stuff. General recruitment is very annoying. It requires 1,000 dilithium, which, if you're having trouble with duty officers in your fleet, you're probably going to be having issues with dilithium too. So I can't imagine that you'd really want to be starting this every 2 days. So instead, there's the tactical officer one, which gives you between 2 and sometimes, if you're really lucky, 3 duty officers. Now, this has a higher chance of giving you an uncommon, which is fine, but can sometimes be a little bit annoying. Still, oh, and also something I forgot to mention about these ones, all the tactical through civilian corps ones, it takes 2 days to complete. That also means that it takes about a day at least, sometimes 2. I haven't quite timed it on how long before you can redo it. Now, that I find just a little bit extreme, but what are you gonna do? Cryptic doesn't listen anyway. So, once you start all these, by the time you're done, you'll get 8 from this, and 3 more from the cultural exchange. So, that's about 11 duty officers, with a rather high chance of getting a uncommon. Now, you can't donate uncommons to the fleet. Not usually, anyway. Most, it's almost always commons. When you get an uncommon, you're like, oh, great, I have an uncommon biologist. Great, I am totally going to use this. So what do you do if you have an uncommon biologist? Well, you can go to Exchange Duty Officers, hit Uncommon, and then this little thing will go up. Oh hey, my biologist. If you assign him to this project, he'll be removed from your roster. However, it takes like 5 seconds to complete. Once it's finally complete, you'll get 3 commons. It's very nice, because who uses biologists? They're bloody easy to get. You can get hundreds of them over the course of a week, and then you're sitting there going, my goodness, my duty officer roster is almost full. I do not need 30 biologists, all uncommon, undonatable. Well, you turn them into this, and poof, it randomly gives you several different types. It does not give you, like, say, I put it in a biologist, I'm not going to get 3 biologists or even 3 science. No, it's going to give me 3 of anything. Whether that be tactical, security, engineering, operations, science, medical. I don't know if it gives me civilian if I put it in a non-civilian. But, whatever. So that's basically how you do it. That's how you can farm duty officers very quickly on the academy. Now, if you feel like getting into alts, which I can't imagine too many of the casual players would want to, but assuming for some reason you do decide to get into alts, you can start the dilithium. Yeah. You can start the duty officer system at level 7. That means if you get a random character up to level 7, you can farm duty officers every 2 days by going to the academy. Now, I've actually got 2 characters that are just sitting at level 7 that I basically have stationed at the academy. I've gotten slightly lax with them lately, haven't been doing as much with them, but it's still a perfectly viable way to farm duty officers when your fleet needs 30 of them and you're in a small fleet. So this is basically a good way to get duty officers over time. Now I'm going to quickly cut the video and show you a faster way of getting a lot at once. But this does require that your fleet is a little bit more advanced. Hello and welcome back to the Starbase. So, this is the Starbase. Fleet Starbase for anyone that's in a fleet. Yours may not look like this. If it does, good for you. So, the Fleet Starbase has many options that are only available to people in a fairly advanced fleet. Now, I am doing this in a fleet that is currently only Tier 2 Starbase and Tier 2 military and engineering and almost Tier 2 science. So I am not in a hugely advanced fleet, yet there are some options that would not be available to someone in a fleet that is just starting. For example, when you get the Starbase level 1, you have this option, Common Fleet Duty Officer. Now, this is a project that the admirals of the fleet have to queue up. It's basically to allow you to talk to this guy here for commissioned duty officers. You come in here and it will have this option. You buy this little box here. It costs 500 fleet credits, which, to be honest, is not that much. You can get lots of credits pretty quickly. If you find this little box in your inventory, where the little bloody thing is, right here for example, it says opening this box will have 1 common quality duty officer. Now, this is completely random. It basically just chooses 1 out of all the different divisions possible. You just double click and poof, I got a operations officer. Very nice, since that's what we need right now, right? Great. However, most of the time it will give you biologists, which ticks me off, since that feels like the most common thing to get. So, when you get biologists all the time, there's not too much you can do about it, to be honest. However, if you happen to get your engineering up, I think it's engineering? It's either tier 2 or, yeah, it's tier 2. You can get common fleet engineering duty officers. That works for both the military and the engineering and science. All of them, when you get up to tier 2, you can commission common fleet science or common fleet interdivision here duty officers. So that means we got engineering and tactical currently, because we currently have a tier 2 military and engineering. Cover our fleet check for the moment. So we currently need engineering officers, correct? Well, need tactical a little bit more currently, but whatever. Let's use tactical as an example. These boxes cost slightly more, 750. That's still not very much. It's a little bit more, but not very much. If you buy one of these, it's guaranteed to only give you either tactical or security. That means if this project right here was empty, no matter what, you would be guaranteed to get something to donate. And since every duty officer you donate counts as 300 fleet credits. 300 fleet credits for every duty officer you donate. The boxes cost 750, so you're losing about 450, I think, if my Insta math is working. So that's not very bad. That's actually pretty good. You can get a bunch of these boxes. They stack very high, I think. I don't know exactly how high they stack, to be honest. I've never bought more than 20 at a time. You just buy a bunch of these things. Wait until the server catches up. I think, whatever. And you can just constantly double click the boxes. And then the server lags out. Right, so apparently the server decided to lag out quite randomly there. Slightly awkward. Anyway, so when you open up the boxes, it gives you both tactical and security. Higher chance of tactical, but you're still getting security officers. Every time you open up the box, it randomly gives you just one of them. And it will say a duty officer is reported for duty. Very nice. Yes, thank you, server. And so you've now got a bunch of tactical and a bunch of security. Doesn't cost you that much, especially when you are getting a return on it. It's kind of like a rebate program. Go ahead and donate him. There's a little bit more. And then donate one of these guys. You can kind of pick and choose if you want. Like, oh, I still need shield distribution officers for something. Oh, well, okay, fine then. Only donate him then. And then, of course, there's security officers, which, yeah, I know everyone needs security. Everybody needs security. But, if at all possible, try and get an uncommon security officer. Because I know everyone wants security officers for getting contraband. Common duty officers aren't going to do a good job with it. So, now I'm going to switch to the Klingon side and show you where things are in the academy and everything, so you know what you're doing on both factions. Alright, so we're on the Klingon side now. Since I already showed you all the different mechanics for stuff on the Academy, on the Federation side, they're not that much different on the Klingon side, so I'm only going to show you their locations. Over here we've got the two cultural exchanges, the Gorn personnel guy, and the Nausicaan personnel guy. These are where these two guys are. There's a third over here, where these Klingons and Gorn guy are battling around. And I can go jumping up there. Come on. Come on, Bobak. You can do better than that. Okay. So, here's the Orion one. Pretty simple, right? Straightforward. Talk to her. You get duty officers. Same time and everything as on the Federation side. Still takes, 20 hours to complete. Then down here, inside this nice stone castle building that looks kinda cool. Come in here, and not this big guy on the thing. It's this little guy right here. The Imperial Personnel Officer. And submit, and there you go. I've obviously already got them running on this character since I've only got one Klingon. And that's where you get duty officers on the Klingon side. Plain and simple, nothing too difficult about it. Now I'm going to show you the location on Starbase. Okay, so we just beamed into our Klingon Starbase. Look around, you're like, whoa, this place is big, dude. Fire's also a weird color. So you come over here, and it's this guy straight ahead. Pretty easy to access. Commissioned duty officers. Obviously, on the Klingon side, we've only got the regular box. This is fine though. You can still have a pretty decent chance of getting a bunch of duty officers that you need all at once. So that's all. That's all the easiest locations to get duty officers. If they come out with more options on duty officers, more easier ways of getting large numbers of them, then yeah, I'll probably make another video like this. And if there's anything else you want to guide on and stuff, I shall try and make a guide on it.